It's 1-3 of 2025. Homies overtime in the building, sitting with my boys, talking some football, talking sports, talking whatever we need to talk, man. It's a new year, 2025, live on YouTube, but wherever you get your audio podcast, Spotify, Apple, and or Google. Check out the Homies Overtime with me and the fellas. Hey, I'm 1 of 4 in the building. What's cracking, Tay Boy Fresh? What's going on with you, man? Happy 2025.
Big G, man. I'm good, man. Yeah, it's that dub and a quarter, man. So shout out to everybody. Happy New Year. We got to talk to most of the people, a lot of the people on Pump Your Brakes on when this podcast number 2 for us for 2025. I'm going to apologize to the live chatters, the people right now. It was 5 minutes later than usual. They changed some stuff up on the audio end and uploading the Homies podcast to the audio. I usually do that between shows real quick. It wasn't as simple today because they changed some stuff up. Some stuff that it seems like collectively we don't necessarily care for, but it's just a matter of being dealing with change. You know what I mean? So I went there and I was shocked. Man, what is this? Had to figure it out real quick. So I'm here about 7-8 minutes later than we wanted to be. So that's on me. Give me the
all good in the hood, dog. It's all good in the hood.
Do I see chatter out here that the Browns are starting Zappy?
Yeah, Zappy starting.
Yeah. Oh, man.
What's cracking, B-Dirt? What's up with you, bro?
Just want to say cheers to the Major. He was the first one in the chat.
Yeah.
And he was pouring another drink. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. What's cracking, Major? Man, where our fourth guy at, man? Where Pay?
He obviously in space.
He's in the universe.
He's somewhere out there in the universe floating around, man, doing all whatever else he got to do. But as soon as Pay gets back, he's 1 of 4. He's one of the homies, man. Pay, what's cracking, man? There you go.
Hot time.
Yeah. Get it in.
Well, you all said it's we're just workers this hour, right? Well, you're the foreman, and I'm the worker that's always coming back from break late.
I didn't say that. That listen, look, for disclaimer and disclosure, that was not me.
He said that's just what we do. We break.
Yeah.
24/7. So when you come back from break late, fine.
HR.
That's right. That's fine. I have my shop steward, my union rep on speed dial.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. Hey, they say you depressed about your Bears, man. The live chat is saying you depressed.
I could not be happier.
How could you be happier in a trade?
They get another top 3 pick.
No, top 10.
Oh no, y'all better than top 10. Y'all might be like what, 6?
Top 10. Remember, we talked about this in the show. There's a lot of garbage teams this year. A lot of teams. There was 7 teams that with 2 wins at some point in the season. The Bears, even though they haven't won in a long time, there's a lot of teams that have worse records than the Bears.
Bears are at 9 right now.
Now, a lot of things could happen, and the Bears can end up in that top 5, though. There's
one game left.
There's a clear path. There's one
game left, G.
I understand, but there's a clear path for the Bears. They end up in the top 5 pick. There is a clear path. It's just certain teams got to lose, and they have to lose, of course. Facts?
Certain teams have to win.
Yeah, certain teams have to win, and they have to lose. Certain teams. Well, no, a couple of certain teams can lose too.
The Bears don't have any tiebreakers going in their favor.
Well, we'll see. It's a top 10 pick for sure. So I understand. Trying to rebuild. All right, fellas, we got to get to our first topic, man. B-Dirt, run off the games, the pick'ems this week for Homies Overtime, and tell the people what's cracking with the records, bro.
All right, we'll do a little recap. Speaking of losers, I want to update everybody that you 3 all went 1 and 2 last week.
Facts.
So you got some company in the cellar. Yours truly had the extra pick, and I went 3 and 1. So I'll take it. That puts our standings at Big G at 46.4% winning percentage. Tate, in the craziest year so far, 11, 11, and 3 ties, 50%. Pay is at 56%, and yours truly jumped in ahead of him at 59.4. There we go.
That percentage is biased, though, man.
Math is bias.
Yeah, no. Why? This is why it's biased, because y'all didn't pick every week. I ain't missed the show.
Wait a second. Math is biased.
It can be.
I mean, but at this point, it's all you can do. I mean, I'm sure B Dirt missed the most games. He has at least picked. You know?
No, I don't.
Who does?
Because there were too many weeks when I was gone that you guys didn't pick or didn't pick correctly. You didn't pick against the spread.
Oh.
So I ended up being the one with the most by 1, I think. Or 2.
Okay.
So it's all.
See, I didn't know those games didn't count. I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you're not picking against the spread correctly, we didn't count.
Okay.
Right.
All right, Peter, kick it off, man. Kick it off.
All right, we're going to start off with Tate Boy Fresh. Tate, you got the Browns at the Ravens. Browns are getting 19.5 points over under 41.5.
They getting 20?
19.5, not quite. They started at 21.
Ooh.
Yeah, man, I'm going to take the Browns, man. I just can't have a NFL team. But I went with the Jets with 10 last week and got my head cracked. That's one of my losses. I'm still going to stick with the Browns, not losing by 20 points.
Oh, Quadfather got something he said over here. I would like to put $2 on that. I'm going to make that a super chat for him. He said, Beat Dirt and Pay are proving they know about gambling. Go figure. Hashtag Pay Dirt.
That's facts.
Good shout out.
I like it. Appreciate it, Quadfather. Pay, you got the Bengals at the Steelers. Steelers are getting 2.5 points over under 47.5.
I got Cincinnati.
All right. Big G, you got the Giants plus 2.5 at the Eagles over under 36.5.
Give me the Giants. Philadelphia is resting everybody. Jalen ain't playing. Saquon ain't playing. AJ ain't playing. Ain't nobody playing.
You took the Giants?
I got the Giants.
How many points the Giants getting?
2.5.
Oh, yeah, I'll probably take the Giants.
All right. I have the Saints plus 14 at the Bucks over under 43.5. A good friend of mine, a very good source, said that he thinks the Bucks are going to put on style points this week. So I'm going to take the Bucks to cover this large spread. Tate, you got the Bears plus 10 at the Packers over under 41.5.
Bears at the Packers?
Yes, sir.
Man, give me I hate to take big double-digit spreads, man, but the Bears are just bad. And they've been cost me already this year. So give me
Go ahead and double down.
Give me the Packers. I ain't betting for the Bears no more, man. Maybe ever.
Damn.
All right. Pay, you got the Bills at the Pats. The Patriots are getting 3 points over under 36.5.
The Bills more than likely will not play anybody of note. So smart money would be on to take the Patriots. However, the spread is 3. I would just I'm gonna go ahead and take the Bills and still win that game because the Patriots aren't a good. You can't trust the Patriots to win that game against the Bills.
You betting on Mitch? This is a first. This is a first.
Trubisky's.
We ride with Mitch.
No, we do not.
You got to change your pick then.
No, I'm not changing my pick. Mitch, if you go out here, Mitch, if you don't win this game by more than 3.
Picks are a pen. Ink.
That's right. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. Mitch, L. Emphasis on the L. If you can't beat the Patriots by 3, take your L up to Canada and stay there. You and Chase Claypool need to play in that league up there because this one down here in America ain't for you.
You should just be happy he's no longer taking the L train.
Facts. In Chi-Town.
How about it?
Yeah.
Big G, You got the Commies at the Cowboys. Cowboys are getting 6.5 over under 43.5.
Man, they both resting everybody, man. Man, I don't know. The Commies and the Cowboys.
The
Cooper
Commanders
Rush-
rest everybody?
Man, they ain't playing nobody, bro. They said Daniels ain't playing. A whole lot of folks for them ain't playing because they're in the playoffs.
But they're not locked in.
They're tied with Green Bay. So
Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to go to Philly if I could avoid it.
What's the spread, Peter?
About Philly.
6.5.
For the Cowboys.
Cowboys are getting 6.5 points. They're
Give me the Commanders.
home dogs.
I'll take the Commanders.
All right. I have the Panthers plus 7.5 at the Falcons. In Atlanta, over under 48.5. I am taking the Falcons to cover this spread. Tate, you have Texans plus 1.5 at the Titans, over under 36.5.
Bill Levis starting quarterback.
Give me the Texans.
Who's the Texans starting at quarterback?
I don't think it's Stroud.
And CJ Stroud. No, they locked in the 4 no matter what.
Exactly.
See, I don't know enough about who's playing, who's not. That's
Tough week to be a gambler, Tate.
Oh, yeah.
This is where you dig your toes in. This is you separate the men from the boys.
Give me the Titans in that case. The Titans are getting points, right?
Nope. Texans are getting 1.5.
Give me the Titans. If you can win, you're gonna win by more.
All right. Hey, you got the Jags plus 3.5 at the Indianapolis Colts, over under 43.5.
Did you say the Jags?
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville, just some guys.
All right. So to help out Tate, Anthony Richardson is not playing in this game, as you already know. Trevor Lawrence has been done for the season for a while, but the Jacksonville Jaguars have started winning games without him. That's why I'm leaning towards the Jags to cover the what's the spread?
3.5.
3.5.
Gotta love the hook.
Yeah. I got Jacksonville to cover that.
Makes sense.
All right. G, you got the Chiefs plus 10.5 at the Broncos, over under 40.5.
Broncos cover.
The Broncos are going to win by 11.
Yeah. Kansas City ain't playing nobody. And Broncos need to win to get in the playoffs.
Ooh.
Yeah, give me the Broncos. They're going to get that.
All right. I have the Chargers at the Raiders. Raiders plus 4.5, over under 44.5. This is the first time I can say this in weeks. This might be my favorite game to pick of the whole week. I'm going to take the Chargers here to cover. All right, Tate, you got the Dolphins at the Jets. The Jets are getting a whopping 0.5 point, over under 38.5. Essentially, you have a pick 'em here.
Say it again.
Jets, Dolphins at the Jets to pick 'em, 38.5.
Give me the Dolphins, man. I like. Is it in Miami or is it in New York?
It's in New York.
Give me the Jets.
Yeah, because it's going to be freezing. He ain't going to win.
The two ain't playing.
Two ain't playing.
Oh, yeah. Don't count against him, man.
Snoop playing. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, you got the Seahawks at the Rams. Rams plus 6.5, over under 37.5.
Can I change my previous pick to the Colts?
You cannot.
It's
Ink.
Limey. Who's the favorite in this NFC West battle?
Seahawks are favored by 6.5.
Yeah, I'll take Seattle.
Seattle to cover. G, you got the 49ers plus 4.5 at the Cardinals, over under 42.5.
Man,
Whoa. Brother man said Tua said he's playing.
Yeah, I heard Tua said he was playing.
Even more of a reason.
Tua don't
take
make no
the
decisions,
Jets.
man. Tua not playing.
Even more of a reason to take the Jets. It's going to be under 41 degrees. All right. Sorry, Big G.
It's
49ers
all right.
plus 4.5. Cards at the Cards, 42.5.
Does anybody know if Kyler Murray is playing?
If he is playing, well, how would you know?
Because he would already said he wasn't gonna play.
Yeah, well, they must have something going on Xbox. No, I haven't heard if he's out. Have you guys heard something different?
Give me the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals. I think the 49ers, they're cashing it in. They're saying, let's 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Because they lost last week and all whatever else.
Who you taking?
The Cardinals.
All right. It looks like Kyler Murray is playing.
Yeah. Over the 49ers?
Yeah.
Yeah, Purdy's not playing.
Yeah. They're 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
I got the game of the week. The Vikings plus 2.5 at the Lions, over under 56.5. Should be a good game. Tate, you want to do me the honors?
Detroit over everybody, man.
That's right. Give me those lines.
And what's the spread?
2.5.
It's in Minnesota and Detroit.
In Detroit. In Detroit.
Yeah, and everybody's playing, and nobody's resting. This is for all the marbles, man.
Yeah, this is one of these two teams is going to be 14-3 in a wild card.
NFL needs their behind Wolf for that.
Crazy.
The NFL needs their behind Wolf. That's ridiculous. That outstanding season, top season, one of all best seasons of all time. All right, fellas.
That does it for the picks.
Yeah, we got to take a pause for the cause, take a quick commercial break, get a word from our sponsors and people that pay our bills around here. If you're listening to us on audio, wherever you get your audio podcast, Google, Spotify, and or Apple, we'll be right back. If you're watching us on YouTube, just take this commercial break and we'll be right back on the Homies Overtime. And we're back from commercial break. As you guys saw, there was a QR code. We'll probably flash it one more time before we go off air. QR code for the Know-It-Alls podcast. Make sure you just take a picture of it, subscribe, and help us get to the 1K subs. We appreciate everybody that rocks with us on all these other podcast platforms we are on, but we're trying to get that Know-It-Alls up to 1K. So we appreciate you, and we'll put it back up. Fellas, we officially have a Final Four in college football. First time playoffs, first time ever. We have the Final Four. The Final Four teams are as follows: the Ohio State Buckeyes, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the Penn State Nittany Lions, and the Texas Longhorns. I just want to ask a couple of questions. I'll run it around the horn. Tate, I'm going to start with you. Question number one. If you had to pick a most outstanding player right now in the college football playoff, who would you pick? And number two, who you think is going to win it all?
Right now, I'd say Jeremiah Smith.
Okay.
I feel like you starting us out with an ending question, but I'd say Jeremiah Smith, and I'd say the.
All right. B-Dirt, same question, man.
What was the question?
The question is, if you had to pick an outstanding player for the playoff as of today, who would the player be, and who is your pick to win the whole dang old thing?
Outstanding player. And man, I think right now Ohio State is definitely playing the best out of the four teams left.
Okay.
The only way I feel like they can lose is if the three teams they have left do have good defensive lines, physical, hard-nosed, tough teams. If for some reason they forget their identity and go back to running the ball between the tackles exclusively, like they did against Michigan, they could run into an upset again because these teams are able to do that. If they get the ball out to their playmakers in space where they all excel, I think that they handle this and become national champions. Man, right now, I think Smith is kind of the sexy pick, but I think Will Howard's the one playing the best.
Wow. Like it. Quarterback Ohio State, Will Howard. Pay. Same question. Question is,
Can I
if you had to pick,
can I just counter beat dirt with something right there?
yeah.
I mean, Will Howard is playing well. You're absolutely right. But high completion percentage. But when you throw a pass at the line of scrimmage and the guy takes it 60 yards, does Will Howard get most of the credit for that? Or did the guy doing it get the credit for that?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Okay.
I mean, Joe Burrow still gets credit when Jamar Chase does it.
Yeah, that's true.
So a little bit of both. I still think he's completing passes downfield as well.
He is.
Pay. So the question is, if you had to pick a most valuable player as of today for the college football playoff, who would it be? And who do you expect to walk off with the trophy, man?
Most valuable player is number 4 for Ohio State. I don't know his name. I'm sure you guys have said his name already. But I'm watching that game yesterday. I'm like, yeah, he's a grown man and he's playing with a bunch of boys. He's the uncle out there letting all his nephews know that he's still got it, and they may not try him. That's what he was doing yesterday. The team that I think is possibly head and shoulders if they like reseeded everybody, the team I think that will be number 1 right now. Maybe Notre Dame. You can. I know. I get the arguments for Ohio State because they put a whooping on Oregon, who was the number 1 team coming in.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, naturally, Ohio State should get that buzz. I just think what Notre Dame has been able to do so far, in fact, not even just in the playoffs, but ever since they lost Northern Illinois, their resume has just been pretty spectacular. Penn State, too. I didn't expect Penn State to still be alive at this point.
Oh.
Man, tight end is a beast too. He's got to be a little bit up there.
Yeah, Warren is a beast.
But Penn State is good. I'd argue Penn State probably got the best quarterback left in the tournament.
Oh, between yours, Howard,
that's better than yours. But Aller can move. I think yours about to be a sitting quack.
Oh, okay. So Pay gives this shout out to Notre Dame. Pay, so you're picking Notre Dame to win the chip.
No, I'm not putting my name to that. That's not the question I answered. I said if we reseeded, I would put Notre Dame at number 1.
Okay.
He said the MVP and who's going to win.
So Penn State plays Ohio State next, right?
No, it's Penn State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas.
Penn State, Notre Dame. Oh, that sucks. So Ohio State, Texas. So I got Ohio State to beat Texas because after what I saw out of Ewers this past game, like, yeah, I'm not convinced with that guy. I got Ohio State beating them, maybe saving Ryan Day's job. Maybe.
Okay.
Still maybe. Possible. And Notre Dame beating Penn State. So Notre Dame versus Ohio State. Maybe I do have the Irish taking it.
Well, you got Notre Dame winning it. Okay.
And to me, Notre Dame has the second worst quarterback. When I watched Notre Dame versus Georgia yesterday, I said neither one of those teams are going to go far. Their quarterback play is not good enough.
Yeah, but Notre Dame, their skill position players are some dogs.
Notre Dame has definitely a running back. That Love kid is a beast. I give him all kind of credit. That kid can play football, man.
Are Notre Dame skill players better than Ohio State skill players?
Love
No.
didn't listen, man. Love didn't play most of the last part of that game.
Yeah, it was the other fellow.
He had a knee brace on, and they never brought him back in.
Yeah,
They played Price and
Price a dog too.
Are Notre Dame's running backs better than Penn State's running backs?
No,
Okay.
no. If you go running back rooms, you start with Ohio State 1. You go probably Penn State 2 and Notre Dame 3.
And Texas got a good. They all got good running back rooms. That's why I got the quarterback play being the difference.
it's really it's cool that like these teams, all 4 teams that are left, are big, physical, punch you in the mouth style football teams that win the game up front. Now they have speed on the outside. They have very good skill players. With Penn State, it's more at tight end and not wide receiver. They have good running backs. They have great linebacker play. Ohio State, it's wide outs first, running back second. But it's those defensive and offensive lines. And Ohio State's offensive line was much maligned the last 3 or 4 games of the regular season, and really have started meshing and playing much better, like in the last 2 games.
Yeah, that's facts.
Ohio
A lot
State,
of injuries. A lot of injuries, man.
Ohio State and Penn State, the only 2 teams that got 2 running backs over 800 yards each for the season.
Yeah. It's Big Ten football. So listen. Go ahead, T.
It's Midwest football. I throw Notre Dame in there too.
They should be in the Big Ten, but that's a whole other conversation.
I'm saying regionally, the majority of the teams, the 3 teams from the same central location.
Yeah.
They're within 4 or 5 hours apart from Notre Dame to State College.
So my question is this. All the teams that won had to play a first round game, won in the second round. So my question is, was it a disadvantage for those top 4 seeds to sit there and have some time off before they actually had to play in a college football playoff? B-Dirt, I'm going to start with you, bro.
Well, so there was a lot of chatter and talk going into this tournament about, Alabama losing 3 games, Ole Miss losing 3 games, and not being able to get into this tournament. And how now it's going to, lead us to a situation where people are scheduling cupcakes out in their future schedule. Yeah. I think what this really showed was not the bye, but a couple of those teams, the teams that had the byes, Oregon taken out of it, they just got dominated by a great team. But when you look at the Boise State, you look at these other teams, they didn't play the caliber of talent that the other teams had. And I think that's where, they're battle tested. The Penn State, the Notre Dame, the Texas, the Ohio States, they're battle tested from playing tougher competition, in my mind. Physical competition. They knew what that fight was going to feel like.
Yeah. Tate, was it a disadvantage for you to have to get a bye?
Yeah, I think it's a disadvantage. I think if you make the playoffs, I mean, don't nobody get a bye in the NCAA tournament. Go ahead and go.
It would be an advantage if it was 1 week off.
Yeah. Well, if
they played right away, it'd be an advantage. But by everybody having 2 or 3 weeks off, what's the advantage of an extra week?
It's almost a month.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So and then you get your rhythm back if you play one of them first round games. But like I said, there's no bye in March Madness, man. Go ahead and get 16 teams, have one play 16 to and seed it like that. And then in the second round, reseed it. And then, like, there's no reason Ohio State should be playing Notre Dame in what was Oregon's first game. It's not fair to Oregon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they should set it up so the best teams, far as the best teams being able to have a good chance at advancing. I mean, so if you start with 16 teams and you got 4 games to win the chip, That's a true playoff.
Yeah.
I know,
Hey,
I know they don't give buys in the NCAA, but they have a basketball tournament, but they also have a lot less concussions in basketball.
That
Yeah,
sucks.
but everybody start with the same month off just about. Before your first game in the playoffs, you got 3, maybe 4 weeks off at most.
I just think if you want it to be an advantage to have a bye, play the following week. Start 2 weeks tops. Don't give everybody 3 or more weeks off before they play. It can't be that too much.
Bread. Yeah, bread. Pay. So the bottom 4 seeds win. Do you think this will be restructured come next season for the college football playoff? Or do you think that they're going to get in a room and say, look, man, this can't happen no more? Because the SEC, Pay, you know me and you've talked about this. This playoff was for the SEC. And now it's looking like the SEC might not get a team to the championship game. So did they restructure this bad baby, bro?
Wasn't this thing stamped for 2 years?
Yeah, for this year. Well, they can change and tweak, but it goes to 16 in 2 years. This year and next year, and then after that, it goes to 16. But they can tweak it. So, Pay, what's your thoughts, man?
Well, they already said that they're gonna do some discussions about moving forward as far as like seedings and all the other stuff. But my opinion to what you all saying about the top 4 and they're not being fair or whatever to their season or whatever, I call crap. You got to buy. That's what you earned. You got to buy, and that's what you earned. If you lose in your first game out, that's how football is. Should have played better. I don't have any sympathy for that. So what?
Got it.
Now, if they're going to tweak anything, I've said this on a couple other shows earlier or whatever. I've heard Tate say it: reseed after every round. Reseed.
Yeah. I got one last question concerning college football. Do you think that the college football committee needs a commissioner? One guy that oversees the whole thing, sort of like how we have in the NFL and the NBA, to ensure that the best product gets put on the field. Because there's a lot of rumblings for a certain name that's been put in that position.
What name?
Do you think? Oh, Mr. Saban himself. Mr. Nicholas Saban has been deemed as the godfather.
Yeah, that's not bias.
Hey, do you think that they need one? I'm gonna start with you, Pay. Do you think?
Yes.
They need a commissioner.
They need someone to be the lightning rod, someone that we can all blame. There's too many people in that room that we don't know their names. We can't know
Condoleezza Rice. I know her name.
She's still in there? I thought she
left. She left. She's a part of there.
Yeah. So it's too much. What's the old saying? Too much backdoor dealing going on back there. So if you put somebody in charge that we know, Saban, somebody that can actually get on, that's actually got a microphone in front of his face throughout the whole season and can speak through the process of how it will go down, then we can cut a lot of the crap out from right then and there.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy that's kind of help heading this up right now is the Michigan athletic director, Ward Manuel. Facts. And everybody I know involved with Michigan athletics wants him removed.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
You need to get a non-biased lawyer.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Kind of tight.
Danny Littlejohn, man, thanks for the $4.99. He said, did Penn State prove that Genty was not all that, giving the level of competition Boise State faced all year? Plus, Arizona State's running back is him, Cam Scatterboo. Y'all thoughts, man, on that, man?
About Cam Scatterboo or
is Genty really that?
Yeah, I think Genty is pretty. I think he's pretty legit. He didn't look it in this one game, but that's a 1 game sample.
Well,
I'd rather take the full body of work.
But he's saying the full body of work is not against the same competition. But I will say he doesn't have the same level of competition on his team. So he's playing with a deficiency right there. I think if he gets behind NFL line, NFL offense, I think he'll be a really good back. Scatterboo is a beast. I think they both are really good. I mean, Scatterboo had a great game. Texas D-line is awesome. Scatterboo had a great game. He was slow to get started, though, too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's facts. B-Dirt?
I mean, Boise State's offensive line averaged right at 300 pounds.
Facts.
Where most of those guys need to average around 320, 330 in today's game. I think this is one of those things that I'm not going to hold Genty accountable for where I think the deficiency really was the offensive line couldn't push those guys off the ball. I think Genty was a good running back. His numbers ended up okay for the game, but he just didn't have the blocking against that caliber of talent. I don't know that Genty is the problem, but Boise State playing against those as a team whole, I agree with the statement. As just Genty, I think Genty could play on these other teams and be the back he was.
Yeah, I agree. Facts. Put him in front of Ohio State's offensive line, Penn State's offensive line, hell, Arizona State's offensive line, and the kid kills him. The kid kills him. That's big facts. All right, fellas, we got to take another commercial break. We got to pay some bills, get a word from our sponsors. If you're watching us live on YouTube, just give us a second. If you're listening to us on audio, wherever you get your audio podcast, we'll be right back with the last segue for the Homies Overtime podcast. And we're back with the Homies Overtime. Fellas, we had a super chat. I completely missed it, man. From Danny Littlejohn earlier, man. Danny, my apologies, man. Danny said for the $1.99, New England should do that. Should do what? Draft Travis Hunter or trade the pick. So he's saying, should they draft Travis Hunter or should they trade the pick? B-Dirt, what you saying?
Trade it.
Trade it. Ship it.
Trade it. You need more than one player.
Pay?
That's why they have more than one pick. I don't think I would trade that pick off. And now it all depends on what's being offered to me.
Who's offering it? Because you could probably jump down to 3 or 4 and still get Travis Hunter.
True. So if I'm looking at it, the New England Patriots can definitely use Travis Hunter. I mean, they can use him at both his positions. It depends on the type of offer I'm getting, but I will say publicly, if I'm the general manager of the Patriots, I will publicly say that, yeah, we intend to keep that pick. You better ring my phone and make me want to trade it to you.
Jay?
Yeah, man, I don't see value in drafting a DB number 1 overall. There's too many quarterback hungry teams. If you have number 1 overall pick, even if you do what the Bears did with Carolina a couple years ago, you trade back and maybe somebody gives you their first this year and then their first next year to move up and get their guy. So, I mean, I would like Travis Hunter, but he got to come at 4 or 5 at the earliest for mine. So I wouldn't take number 1 pick and draft him. I would be looking to trade, as B. Dirt has said. Pay may have said it too. But, yeah, I'm not taking a defensive back overall in number 1. And not even if he played wide receiver. I mean, he's not a number 1 overall pick wide receiver. I mean, you got to be a big guy for that. You got to be Calvin Johnson. You got to be Jeremiah Smith. You got to be one of those guys.
Devontae Smith.
He wasn't one overall.
Old school, let's throw it back.
No,
Keyshawn Johnson, the only number 1 overall wide receiver picked ever. Keyshawn Johnson, number 1, went number 1. So you got to be one of those type of guys. Absolutely.
And he was a big man playing a big man sport.
That's big facts. He was big boy ball. 5 pick.
I mean, so, you spend that first round pick. If you a receiver, that early pick it's got to be a guy. You don't want no little kind of slot receiver. You're
All
not
right.
drafting.
Tim Lyons wants to know if Travis Hunter is not going number 1. Who is?
A quarterback.
Yeah,
That's
Cam-
my
Shador or Cam Ward?
Yeah.
a
So you all are
quarterback.
saying take quarterback just because he's a quarterback, they have to go number 1.
I think personally that for the next 4 years, quarterback will go 1-2 back to back for the next 4 years in a row. Unless a team just absolutely falls in love with a player. I think for the 2025 draft, 2026 draft, 2027 draft, and 2028, you'll go quarterback 1-2.
Who's the last non-quarterback to go number 1 overall?
It's been a minute. Tate. It's been a minute.
Probably a defensive player.
Yeah, it was a defense. I think the Jaguars took a defensive player number 1.
Javon
The kid from Georgia, defensive end. Walker, defensive end.
I mean, because somebody took a quarterback over Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa went 2. Chase Young went 2. Not that Chase Young's doing anything, but these were top talents in the league, and teams take quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think for the next 4 years in a row, a quarterback will go 1-2 in the draft. There's a bunch of quarterbacks that's leaving the NFL. This year's class is weak, but starting in 2026 and 2027, you're going to have some serious quarterbacks. So I think for the next 4 years, quarterbacks go 1-2. Quarterback league. Got to have a guy. All right, so this is my question. Oh, the chat said 2017 Myles Garrett.
No, 2022 Trayvon Walker. And then
Jacksonville.
before that was Myles Garrett. And then before that was 2014 Jadeveon Clowney. Eric Fisher, tackle in 2013 from Central Michigan.
Yeah.
The rest are all quarterbacks all the way to 2008.
Yeah.
And Jake Long, tackle Michigan.
Yeah. Quarterback-driven league. Quarterback NFL. Got to have a franchise quarterback. If not, you're not going to win. All right, so this is my question. The Pro Bowl votes are out. I want to know who's your snub. Or did anybody get snubbed, or did they get it right?
Pro Bowl votes.
Over who?
I said Hall of Fame or Pro Bowl?
Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl votes are out. Who did anybody get a snub or somebody that should have been in the Pro Bowl, in your opinion? Pay, I'm gonna start with you. Anybody get the snub? And they said, nah, man, that was trash. You didn't make it. That's messed up.
The only guy I've heard that didn't make it that probably should have been it was the safety out of Detroit, Kirby Joseph. Leads the league in interceptions. He's got a little bit of a reputation for maybe a little dirty, but that's the only guy that I could think, and I'm gonna say that definitively, unequivocal. The only guy that I think should be in discussion for Pro Bowl that didn't make it.
Okay, B-Dirt.
Can we put up Brother Man from the fifth floor's last comment? He said Jaden Daniels got snubbed. As a matter of fact, no, he didn't. He caused the snub. Baker Mayfield should have been in. Jaden Daniels did get into the Pro Bowl and does not belong. Baker Mayfield is my snub.
Got it. Tay Boy Fresh. Anybody that you feel should have made it and didn't?
Well, I'm not saying he had the numbers to make it, but just because we know who he is, what he is, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you get a reputation. LeBron, Giannis, Joker, they all get an all-star game. I mean, it's tough because you got so many good quarterbacks in the AFC, but Patrick Mahomes should have a slot every year.
It's not a career award. He didn't deserve to get in this year. Get out.
I don't disagree, but I don't know who snubbed. So I know he's not in it. I know he's always in it. First time since his rookie year when he didn't play. Patrick Mahomes is my snub.
Who are the three AFC quarterbacks? Yeah, on a 15-1 team. That's a big fact.
Quadfather said Brian Thomas Jr. That's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, Jacksonville, just horrible team. Claude Bishop, man, thanks for the 2. He said the coaches and the players voted for 39. Go figure. Yeah, he might have got a career award while we're talking about a career award because Minka did not have a Pro Bowl year. absolutely correct, Claude. Bruh man from the 5th floor, thanks for the $2, man. He said, I stand corrected, so my bad. Yeah. But he did. Jaden Daniels caused the snub, and I agree with B Dirt.
So Baker Mayfield had a great season.
Jaden Daniels got in, Baker did not.
Jaden Daniels going to have 3,000 yards passing and close to 1,000 yards rushing as a rookie, and took a terrible Washington Commanders team, and they're 11-5.
And
Baker
did basically the same. He did basically the same thing. He's going to win the division.
Baker's numbers, I think, are a little bit better.
They are. He's got 40
numbers.
But if you combine the passing and rushing, he still has more total yards. He still has more total touchdowns.
And Baker played with a mash unit too, because he lost Evans for several games. He lost Godwin very early on in the season. So I agree with you guys with some of the guys that they left off, but I guess the real question is Pro Bowl voting just for a show? Because we know they don't play the game. So it's just to say, okay, these guys deserve A, B, C, and D, or is it just what is it? Is it just stocking stuffer for the Hall of Fame? What do you guys think it is? Go ahead.
I agree with Mr. Woodside.
What he said.
I
Mr.
don't
Woodside
know.
just gave.
I don't know, but he paid $13.99 to say it. I agree with him.
Yeah, he gave $13.99.
Happy New Year's, guys.
Yeah, he did. Happy New Year's, man.
Happy New Year, bro.
$13.99. We appreciate you, bro. Is it just for show pay?
All for show.
Got you. Tate?
Man, Pro Bowl weekend is weak, but it's still a feather in those guys' cap. It's something to go on their resume. They want to get selected and picked to be a Pro Bowler, even if they never want to play the game, because that means you're at the top of the game.
On their bust.
What'd you say?
It's on their bust if they get a gold jacket. They use this stuff as a measuring stick to whether somebody should get in the Hall of Fame or not. It needs to be taken seriously.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree. The game don't mean nothing, just the selections do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And Ronald Blake makes a good point. Bonus money in contracts sometimes.
Yeah. There's a lot of bonus money out there to be played. To be paid. There's a lot of guys that can make some extravagant amount of money over the next 48 hours. So absolutely. While we're on the subject, we had the Hall of Fame that happened. They're down to the finalists. Do y'all agree with the list? Because there's a lot of chat and a lot of argument going on out there saying that they missed a guy, guys should have made it, guys that are in finalists shouldn't be the finalists. I think this is one of the most controversial lists in a long time, as far as my remembrance of a Hall of Fame list. So, Tate, I'm going to start with you, bro. Do you think that they got it right for the Hall of Fame finalists?
Man, it's always just like the college football playoffs. It's always going to be somebody should have got in, somebody shouldn't have got in. I mean, this is just, I don't want to call them Hall of Fame class. I'll just say that a lot of the guys are on the same tier. Nobody's truly exceptional. Nobody's like, that's a first ballot guy. You don't have any of those. Yeah. I mean, Eli will ultimately end up being one because he got 2 chips and he beat Tom Brady 2 times.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So he's the only one I see that's be a first ballot. I mean, the other guys, I mean, I could argue why Hines Ward gets in before Darren Woodson.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Debo too. I mean, Darren Woodson was never defensive player of the year. Darren Woodson don't have the longest play in Super Bowl history for a touchdown. You know, Hines Ward got a Super Bowl MVP. I mean, so, and I'm just commenting on the Steelers. There's a lot of players. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Terrell Suggs, he was good when he played, but was he great?
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, man, for the 5th, thanks for the 2. He said Hines Ward and James Harrison got snubbed. I think that's the road Tate was walking down. B Dirt, who got snubbed, man, or did they get the list right, bro?
Well, we're only having this conversation because of Hines Ward and James Harrison. So I think your big cap kind of says it all. I mean, are they snubbed? The whole concept to me is like, can you write the story of the NFL with or without somebody? That was one of those things that was always talked about when I was growing up. The Hall of Fame, whether it's the NFL or MLB or whatever, can you write the story of it without that person? Are they that impactful? I give James Harrison a little more of a nod than I do Hines Ward in that regard.
Facts.
It's because what Tate said. You got the defensive player of the year, the longest return in Super Bowl history. Like, those things matter. So I think maybe him, but when we start talking about Terrell Suggs, was he great? I mean, he's got the 8th most sacks of all time.
Facts.
You don't write the story of the NFL without him. He deserves to be in. That's my take on those guys. There's always going to be somebody snubbed. Well said, Tate. There's always going to be somebody that got in that you're questioning or whatever. The last thing I'll say about the Hall of Fame voting this year, Eli Manning, not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh,
I'll leave it at that.
got it.
You can understand why, though.
2 Super Bowls when their defense was the best thing that happened to him, and a guy caught a ball off of his head to win one. Like, I do understand he knocked off Brady. But it's his team. It's the same argument I have with you when I tell you Terry Bradshaw wasn't one of the top 10 best quarterbacks of all time. He got drug across the finish line by his defense.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Eli's better than Terry Bradshaw. I think Eli's better than Troy Aikman.
Slightly.
Ooh. That's saying a lot, Tate.
Yeah, I know.
Pay. Any problems with the finals? Or somebody that you like, man, look, somebody should be there, bro. They playing around with this, man. Your thoughts, man.
Yeah. Torrey Holt. Maybe I was the only one that thought Torrey Holt was an elite wide receiver during his heyday. I don't know, because he just keeps falling down the list when Hall of Fame time comes around. And as the years go on, the less likely of you getting in, it gets more and less likely, is what I'm saying. Because this has another group of guys that gets their first ballot. So if you thought, I'm sorry, Torrey Holt was a finalist. Wow, my eyes are bad. In any case, for those who don't know who the finalists are, Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Willie Anderson, Jahari Evans, Antonio Gates,
Antonio Gates is in.
Yeah.
We just gonna do this Met thing this whole way through.
Context.
All right, yeah, I don't think so. Torrey Holt, Luke Kinkley, Eli Manning, Steve Smith, Terrell Suggs, Fred Taylor, Adam Vinatieri, Reggie Wayne, Darren Woodson, and Marshall Yonda. That's a very good crop of finalists. And I agree with B Dirt. I don't think Eli should be a first ballot out of that group. He should not. He can make the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's got the bona fides to be in the Hall of Fame. He's got the Super Bowl MVP. Well, does he? Did he win a Super Bowl MVP over Strahan?
Eli Manning, no.
Okay, but he's got the career numbers, although they are inflated by era, and he's got 2 Super Bowl wins. That'll push him in. And he's got a name. He's got a famous football name. Fine, whatever. He'll get in. He does not need to be a first ballot. The thing I like about the Football Hall of Fame is they put a cap on this. I'm not going to let everybody in. We're going to keep it to a small group between 4 to 8. So a lot of this is going to get whittled down. Jared Allen, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I'm surprised he became a finalist. Willie Anderson, he's going to get in. Torrey Holt, I believe he should be in. Antonio Gates,
Willie Anderson played for the Bengals, right?
he did.
Will be your second Hall of Famer, be Dirk.
Time out. Do you think James Harrison's a Hall of Fame?
Yes,
Hey,
A pay, yes.
coin flip. I wouldn't argue. I wouldn't argue against it. But him not being there, I'm not throwing any pity parties for it.
I get Jared Allen not a sexy pick, and he doesn't have like big moments because his teams didn't play for big moments. But he's 12th all time in sacks with 136. They're probably going to get him in at some point in time.
Yeah, but watching him play, he did during his prime with the Minnesota Vikings, right? He did have a good 3-4 year run when majority of that sack activity happened. After that, other than those 4 years,
Didn't he have some good years in Kansas City?
I don't remember him in Kansas City. I remember him in Minnesota and Chicago.
So James Harrison, 70th all-time in sacks. Mr. Woodside, thank you again for the super chat, but I got to disagree. You. Suggs isn't a better player than James Harrison. He's got 55 more sacks.
that's facts.
And that's what they both did was rush the quarterback.
Doesn't Suggs have a defensive player of the year?
Mm-hmm.
No.
He's got one, doesn't he? I think he had one.
I win.
Well, let's look.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I mean, he played with some defensive player of the years and Ray Lewis and
Yes,
Ed Reed. And Ed Reed, he played with some, but I don't know if he does got one. I don't know. I don't know about that.
While he's looking that up, Reggie Wayne.
I was at Jared Allen first. So Jared Allen, Kansas City.
2011.
Suggs.
Yeah.
All right. So
That's
Jared
awesome.
Allen had 15 and a half, led the league in sacks at Kansas City in 2007. Then he had 14 and a half, 14 and a half, 11, 22, 12, 11 and a half. He had a pretty good little run there. Oh, shoot. I see why you don't like him. He went to Chicago and had none in 2015.
He
My
was
bad.
big trash with the Bears.
My
Big
bad.
trash.
All he did was give up containment. I could not stand that guy. Anyway, Reggie Wayne, he's a Hall of Famer. Darren Woodson, long overdue. Marshall Yonda, he's a Hall of Famer.
Why Darren Woodson? He's one of the ones I disagree with most. Maybe it's my Cowboy bias, like you got your Packer bias, but why Darren Woodson?
He's a part of a group. Once they start putting out the whole group in, everybody gets in.
That's not necessarily true. LC Greenwood's not in. LC Greenwood's not in, and he should be.
So
they all get in.
Can you write the story of the NFL without him? He's got the Super Bowl MVP. He's got some other things going on. That's where it gets murky. He shouldn't be in early in the voting process for his, when he's eligible, but he should get in eventually. And I think it's pretty close to where he should be at.
Five Pro Bowls. I think the 3-time Super Bowl champion gets him in.
And Super Bowl MVP.
Darren
Woodson from the fifth.
Why no Super Bowl MVP?
No?
No, that was Larry Brown.
My bad.
That Neil O'Connell threw the ball to.
Yeah, they captured his family, put him in the basement.
So out of these 15, though, what let's say 6 guys are going to make the Hall? I think I got Luke Kuechly, Antonio Gates,
Eli.
Suggs. I meant this year.
Okay.
I got Steve Smith, Terrell Suggs, Luke Kuechly, Gates, Reggie Wayne, and
Torrey Holt.
Yeah, I'm going Torrey Holt.
They're not putting 3 receivers in 1 year.
You're right. They're not. They're really not.
Should.
But the game is going that way, so they're gonna start putting. I think there's only like 20 receivers in the Hall right now. They're gonna start putting more receivers in the league in the Hall. Versus.
Chill, man. These guys are gonna start drafting receivers earlier in the draft next year.
No, they won't. they're going to start moving to elect more receivers into the hall and you're going to stop seeing running backs make it to the hall. Derrick Henry's going to be the last one ever.
The last one ever?
Stop
Hey,
that,
come
man.
on, man.
Hey, stop that. Stop that, man.
I can say ever because I won't see the next one.
Saquon gonna make it.
Is he? You don't know that.
He have another couple.
Derrick Henry.
You don't know that.
You're talking about the current NFL players. Derrick Henry is the only running back that's not going to make that. No, stop that.
Christian McCaffrey definitely making it.
No, he's not making it.
He's definitely
I'll bet anything on that. He's not making a hall.
Saquon won't make it?
You don't know that. It's up in the air for Saquon.
Derrick Henry's going to make it.
Jahmyr Gibbs might not make it?
No, he said Derrick Henry going to be the last one to make it.
Oh, okay.
So we trying
Jahmyr
to
Gibbs won't
everybody
make
else.
it?
I said Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's gonna be the last NFL running back to make the hall.
I don't know about that one, Pay.
I got McCaffrey definitely making it.
He's not making the hall.
Man, he got two things going for him.
Don't say it. Don't say it because I've argued against it every time. I've argued against it. I don't think no one cares about that.
Bijan might make the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
You talking way too early about that one. That's way too early.
But he's young. He's a baby.
So you don't know what's going to happen. I'm talking about guys that they put in work that's at least halfway through their resume.
McCaffrey needs a Hall of Fame career.
All right.
The Hall of Fame, basically.
I'm gonna read off.
I think Fred Taylor should make it.
Current NFL players, NFL running backs, and their rushing yard totals. Number 1, Derrick Henry with 11,285. Number 2, Ezekiel Elliott at 9,130.
He ain't going.
Number 3 is Joe Mixon, 7,400. Number 4 is Saquon, 7,200.
Yeah.
Number 5, Aaron Jones, 7,000.
No.
Number 6, Nick Chubb, 6,800.
He was on pace when he got hurt, though.
Yeah, not gonna play long enough.
Number 7, Josh Jacobs, 6,800.
Could do it. Could do it.
Number 8, Alvin Kamara at 6,779.
Not enough of the years left.
Number 9, Latavius Murray, Melvin Gordon. Number 11 is Christian McCaffrey with 6,387.
How many passing
receiving yards are higher than any of them? His receiving yards are higher than any of them.
Number 12
is Roger Craig in the Hall of Fame? Anybody?
No.
Number 12, Dalvin Cook at 6,227. Number 13, drum roll,
Najee Harris.
Lamar Jackson, 6,110.
Hall of Fame. Hey, I got 2 super chats, man. Bruh, man, thanks for the 2. They changed the rules because of James Harrison. They changed the rules because of the 2010 Pittsburgh Steelers defense. That's why they changed the rules.
What was the rules that they changed?
You go across the middle, you can't get blown up no more.
Player safety.
Yeah. You go across the middle, you get blown. The Steelers was putting cats out of the league.
There was a lot of people doing that.
But Pittsburgh changed the rules.
Mm.
Okay.
Claude Bishop says, "Pay you smoking that ganja." Thank you for the 2.
Almost got 5,000 yards receiving to go with his 6,200 yards rushing.
Great. Roger Craig got that too, don't he?
Pay, you heard what Claude Bishop said. He said, "You smoking that ganja, bro? The big ganja."
I appreciate that, Claude.
Okay.
I think James Harrison eventually gets in. He at least will be on the finalist list. Whatever. I think he's great, but I don't think the rules changed because so many people got hurt. I don't remember someone like, were there big hits? Were the Steelers rough and tumble? Absolutely. But there was a lot of it going on in the league. I don't think it was one hit. If you want to go to one hit that changed it, then give it to Vontaze Burfict.
Oh.
That hit changed anything more than any James Harrison hit I ever saw.
Ryan Clark, Troy Polamalu, and James Harrison was hurting people.
Hard really hitters. Bad. Yeah, absolutely. But to say that James Harrison, well, you you should give him. He should be on the ballot for the Hall of Fame right now because he was hitting people in the head, knocking them out, and they had to change the rule.
Yeah. But Burt, I think Harrison was cracking people across the middle before Burfict. But yeah, I do agree. That hit was crazy that he put on AB. It was sick.
I was at the game.
So listen, this is just my last point.
Hey, we're real quick. Roger Craig, 8,200 rushing yards, almost 5,000 pass yards, 4,900 receiving yards, 73 total touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey has right now he's at 6,400 rushing yards, 4,500 passing yards. He got 81 touchdowns. So it's close between them two. Christian McCaffrey has a Offensive Player of the Year.
I do want the chat fan to understand.
Christian McCaffrey gets 20 more.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying Christian McCaffrey can somehow get 20 more touchdowns after another broken leg. Maybe. I don't think he's got enough juice left in his career for it.
Oh, interesting. Now that's interesting because I put him at 2, maybe 3 more good playable years. Is why I was saying he's gonna make it.
Well, Achilles injuries. Interesting.
How many? He's blown out both his knees already. Now he's got an Achilles injury.
Yeah, this is his. This is actually his fourth major injury. This is actually his fourth major. I don't see it, dog.
Yeah. I do just want to throw a timeout into the chat and everybody know that every Cincinnati Bengals fan knew that Burfict was a dirty player. Like we did not condone him. Most of his teammates did not like him. Just leave it at that.
Hey, so I got a question, and this is going off of what B-Dirt said. We talked about all these different people for the Hall of Fame, okay? B-Dirt, you said that you got to be able to write the story of the NFL and put that player's name in. Can you write the story of the NFL and not put Hines Ward's name in?
Yes.
How?
You would have been better off saying Christian McCaffrey.
Hines Ward was a Super Bowl MVP. Hines Ward is still known as the grittiest wide receiver that ever played football. He did all the dirty work. Hines Ward is still
was he the Super Bowl MVP against the Seahawks?
Yeah, MVP.
Yeah. It's because it's one of the worst games ever played in the Super Bowl.
X.
So how can you write the story with them? Hines Ward is arguably the Pittsburgh Steelers' best receiver. Oh. And that's with Lynch Swan, with Stallworth.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
They're in the Hall.
He's not.
I'm saying he's arguably the Steelers' greatest receiver.
Listen.
Arguably.
Listen. His career ended in 2012, right?
Correct.
So you're coming up on this 10th year anniversary of him being on the ballot. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
How many times I got to tell you he's not a Hall of Famer before you realize he's not a Hall of Famer?
Well, they say that same things about L.C. Greenwood. And L.C. Greenwood is clearly a Hall of Famer.
Is he?
Clearly. You can't write the Steelers, you can't write the story about the Pittsburgh Steelers defense in the 70s without saying L.C. Greenwood. He was a pivotal part of that team.
Well, so what you're saying is they put the whole team into the Hall of Fame.
That's what you said. You said once they start grouping them together.
See, there you go.
That's what you said. So I'm going off of what you said.
He did say that about Darren Woodson.
That's what I was about to come back to. Yeah. So if they're gonna put the whole team in, shout out to Darren Woodson.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You said it. He going off what you said.
No, and I'm agreeing with them. If they're gonna put everybody in from an era,
you said it.
And I'm gonna stand by that. If they're gonna put everybody in from the era at which you dominated, then come on home. Darren Woodson, welcome to Canton.
The real question to me when you talk about Pittsburgh Steelers receivers in the Hall of Fame, Antonio Brown is going to be a hot button topic because he's the best receiver that's ever played for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They'll never let
Period
him in.
and point blank.
Statistically.
They'll never let him in.
I mean, why?
Okay, man.
You don't
Let
think there's
OJ
crazy
in.
people in there?
He disrespected the Shield.
Eh,
He disrespected the Shield.
maybe.
That's why they'll never let him in. He disrespected the Shield. If Antonio Brown wouldn't have done the things that he did in New York, and he wouldn't have done some of the things he did in Tampa, easily. But because he disrespected the Shield, never.
Tampa is where I really think he broke the camel's back, so to speak. Claude Bishop, good comment. LC had a better career than D. Woodson.
Facts. LC Greenwood's a beast.
That's an argument you can start having for sure.
Yeah, and he's still not in. He's still not in the hall. So that's why I'm like, there's some bias to this. I think some of it is the bias of how many players get in from a certain team. That's my argument. There's some bias to this.
There's a bias to that?
Yeah, because
I mean,
if you said if the whole squad deserves it, Jack Ham's in, Jack Lambert's in. I mean, we can run down Mel Blount. We can run down Stiller Grace that's in.
Donnie
How come
Shell,
LC Green was not with that group? Donnie Shell. Me, Joe Green, we can run it down. LC Greenwood belongs with that group in the Hall of Fame, and he's not there.
Keith Miller is your fourth all-time yardage receiving.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Go Hines Ward, AB,
Stallworth.
Heath Miller.
Then Heath Miller, yeah.
Then Lynn Swan.
Yeah. Yeah. LC Greenwood had in 4 Super Bowls. How many sacks, y'all? Can you write the story? I mean, I'm just going back to what y'all are saying.
Actually, it's Heath Miller, Lewis Lips, and then Lynn Swan. Yep.
Yeah. Can you write the story? Can you write the Steelers dominating 70 defense without LC
Deontay Johnson's
absolutely
number
not.
9. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely not. So that's all I'm arguing. I'm saying that LC Green was still not in. I think, in my opinion, regardless of yards, Hines Ward is the greatest receiver that played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he's got to go in.
It's a good argument. Like you made a good argument for, LC Greenwood, definitely. Hines Ward. He played in an era where they threw the ball a lot more. And when you look at who he was statistically with his other, like the other guys in his era, I don't think he's on that top 10 board, right? But did he win one championship?
Yes, just one.
He won two. He won two.
He was on the team with Santonio Holmes. Yes, he was, Tate. That is, he's got 2 chips. That is correct, Tate.
So you would think that's close. I mean, that's borderline.
Matter of fact, he played in 3. He played in 3.
Be close. Hey, if I know anything as a Bengals fan, it doesn't matter how many you play in.
Yeah, I feel it.
Only if you win them, bro.
I feel it. We got one last super chat. We're going to get out of here.
Hines Ward, 2-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP, for only 4 Pro Bowls, 1,000 receptions, 12,000 yards, 85 touchdowns.
In 15 years.
Whew. And
it's a long career.
He went to the Pro Bowl one year, and Tommy Maddox was his quarterback. That is fact. You can look that up all day and night. Tommy Maddox was his quarterback, and he went to the Pro Bowl. Come on now. Come on now. No quarterback, and he still made it. Claude Bishop, thanks for the $2. What's Deontay Johnson's wide receiver worth next year? I'll let y'all handle that.
Packet now later.
Yeah.
He lost money.
Yeah. Pay got a strange look.
I don't want to say anything disrespectful to the young man, but his worth, he'd be lucky to still be in the league. As I've said ad nauseum, I thought he was one of the worst wide receivers in the league before coming into this year, and then he showed his ass all this season.
Yeah,
he'd be lucky to still be in it, still have a job come March.
So you give him the go to Canada.
Claypool is up there with you. You know him. Go play with him.
Yeah.
Take Mitchell with you.
I don't disagree.
Have some poutine.
All right, fellas, we're to the end of the show. We're to the end of the Homies Overtime. Final thoughts as we close this out. B-Dirt, what you got for us, bro?
Happy New Year to everybody. As I'm going into enemy territory to watch a Bengals-Steelers game, do want to remind everybody, as much as I love this game, it's still just football, man. The most important thing are friends and family and enjoying and making the best out of your life. So good luck to everybody. I'll be rooting against y'all in the Steel Curtain Network tomorrow, but may the best team win. We'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. Pay. Final thoughts as we close out, bro.
I need the Ravens to go ahead and smash those Browns by 40 points. And so Lamar can go ahead and get his third MVP trophy and bring home and get the championship belt.
Look at this dude with
so he can be a winner. Like his biggest fan. Be a winner.
For y'all that's watching us on video, that is the championship fantasy belt that Pay has around his shoulder. You know, 3-time champion in the fantasy football league. Congratulations, Pay. Not gonna be a hater. Congratulations. You did what you needed to do. Tate, your final thoughts as we close off the show, bro.
I just want to read stat line to you. This is postseason. 76 receptions, 1,065 yards, and 14 touchdowns in 14 games, postseason appearances, versus 87 catches, 8 touchdowns in 16 games. Which one of those guys gets in?
The first guy?
Well, it depends on the rest of their career, I think.
That's true. But we talking postseason when it matters most.
Who gets into the postseason Hall of Fame? The first guy.
Okay. Pay a thought on it before I reveal the blind reveal?
I'll take second guy.
Big G?
First guy, all day and night.
First guy, Hines Ward, 76, 1065, 14 touchdowns in 14 postseason games. Second guy, 87 catches, 1,315 yards, 8 touchdowns in 16 games. Second guy, Michael Irvin.
Oh, yeah. Hines to the Hall. Hines to the Hall. 2-time Super Bowl champion. 1-time Super Bowl MVP. Hines to the Hall.
And I don't think that's what that thought exercise told me.
I'm sorry?
I said, that's not what that thought exercise told me.
I'm saying, man, Michael Irvin don't have an MVP.
But he's got a gold jacket.
All right. So I have NFL postseason stats by StatMuse. Have Michael Irvin playing 16 games, 87 receptions, 1,315 yards, right?
Yeah, that's what Tate just said.
So he's got less yards he's got more yards than Hines Ward in less games.
With 2 more games played. No, he played 16 games. Hines played 14.
Hines Ward played 18 games.
Oh, this says 14.
According to StatMuse, it's 18.
Hines Ward also has a Super Bowl MVP.
14 postseason appearances is what I'm looking at. But okay, I'm not disputing StatMuse. I don't know which one to go with.
Yeah, Irvin got 3 wings. Hines got 2. Hines played in 3, lost 1. Irvin played in 3, won 3. Yeah, that's that old argument. That's that old Michael Jordan argument. Get out of here with that mess.
But
all right,
I didn't get to finish. I just want to put them blind. But I was just going to say, man, I'm looking forward to a good game tomorrow between the Bengals and the Steelers. We'll be looking for B Dot. I guess it'd be B Dot tomorrow if I see him on TV.
Why's that?
Because you're gonna be a dot. I'm not gonna really see you. I'm gonna say,
oh, you never know. I might get some up close personal. You know,
take a sign with you.
I don't have to. I got Jess.
Wow.
If you got an obnoxious sign as a Bengals fan, in Pittsburgh, you might get on TV. But shout out to Ohio State. Next time we on here. Matter of fact, we got to talk about maybe going an hour early next Friday, man, because the game started at 8:00.
Facts.
You know, we'll talk about it between now and sometime middle of next week. And just to pay, check out the Central Showdown on Mondays. The Cavs about to win their 7th in a row or 8th in a row. Up 10. Best team in the league, 30-4 record. Just shout out. I'm looking at them right now on TV. So shout out to Cleveland Cavaliers. That's it for me, Big G.
Got it. All right, fellas. Thanks again for another show. We will definitely see you guys next Friday on the Homies and Homies Overtime. Make sure you check out the Know-It-Alls podcast Sunday at 6 p.m. Listen, there's going to be a lot of chatter over there, man, because them Longhorn boys in the state of Texas has been calling and talking big mess already, talking about what they're going to do to the Buckeyes. And I'm just here to tell you, we going to Texas hungry looking for some brisket meat.
Hey, a question I didn't get to ask on First Homies real quick. B-Dirt. You know, it's been a rivalry for a minute. You know the record, the last 20 games between the Steelers and the Bengals?
I don't, but it's got to be 16-4, maybe.
16-4 Bengals?
No. Steelers 14-6, 16-4, somewhere in that area.
Wow, you're remarkably good, B-Dirt. 15-5, right in the middle.
Right. There we go.
Yeah, so that goes back to, I believe, 15 years ago. Would that be 2009-ish, 10-ish? But yeah, so 5 wins by the Bengals in the last 20 matchups. We go back to Andy Dalton and Big Ben and Burrow and now Russ. So, you know. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting, man. I would have thought it was closer to 500. I probably would have said 12-8. That's what I would have said, I think, if you just asked me.
We were really struggling. Burrow's rookie year and 3 or 4 years headed up to that was not good.
Right. Okay.
Absolutely.
There's the reason why we got to draft him.
Yeah, facts.
That's true.
There's a reason why we drafted Chase the following year.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Pay, as we close out every show, man, get us out of here with the traditional way, man.
Oh, can I get one before Pay? Can I add one to his?
Sure.
Black Monday. Take Zach Taylor. Go ahead, Pay.
Fire Ryan Poles and arrest Brett Favre.
Holla.